Welcome to my show, honey. Welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. When you're feeling blue, you don't know what to do. Carrying such a heavy load, honey. Feels like you're all alone. You need a new recipe. Well, I'm the one to see. Friday rolls along, you wanna hear my song. So welcome to my show. Oh, welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. My show is so hot, honey. The fish, the meat.
So we have Soraya Sobreidad's yuca delicious corned beef filling guisado inside, que rico, in banana leaf, baked in the oven, pasteles. And we're gonna go through the recipe now. Yeah. Hi, my name is the super sexy, super fabulous, and super desirable Soraya Sobreidad. Welcome to my kitchen, welcome to my show. Olas. Pasteles are a big deal for the holidays, right? They're really special. It's a very holiday food. And so I've done a pastel recipe before of guineos, and I've been wanting to do a pastel recipe of the yuca pasteles, and today is the day that I'm doing the yuca pasteles. So we have Soraya Sobreidad's yuca pasteles. So I have about almost 3 pounds of yuca. Yuca is a starch. It's like potato. In my opinion, and I think many people will agree that the yuca is actually starchier than a potato. How I like my yuca is in alcapurrias, which is a recipe that I've done before with the guineos. But I like the yuca alcapurrias and I like the yuca pasteles. Now, yuca is a white root vegetable, and it's cubed up because I'm gonna grind it. I'm gonna make a masa. Put these in papi food processor. Is going to be very happy to get to work today. He's up there waiting. He's like, yeah, Soraya, I'm ready, baby. I'm ready to make the pasteles for you, baby. So he's all happy, and I'm happy too, because I can't wait for this recipe to be done so I can sit down and metemos una haltera one of these yuca pasteles. Now, the real cool thing with the yuca pasteles is that I'm using a very special filling. Because it's the holidays and I'm kind of missing some family members, and my father, missing my dad. And so he was a big corned beef freak. So we are using corned beef for the filling. Now you know in Soraya Sobreidad's cooking show, I'm more turkey and chicken and not really doing too much beef or too much pork fillings, right? But for these pasteles, I really want something super, super, super special. And I've just been wanting to play with using the corned beef as a filling for the yuca pasteles. So they're going to be super, super, super tasty. Yeah, it's processed. But you know what? On Soraya Sobreidad's cooking show, I like to be flexible. And there's a term for this called flexitarian. You know, sometimes I'm vegetarian, sometimes I'm not. And I don't eat beef a lot, which is why I'm giving myself the opportunity to eat beef with these pasteles. And you know, food has a way to transport me, maybe you too, into another time and place, right? Like you remember, my dad, and he liked corned beef, fillings, and you know, I'm missing my family, so I kind of want to get in touch to my roots through this recipe. So that's the reason why I'm doing the corned beef. Is we're going to start with the meat filling, okay? Because we're going to get that going first. So what I'm going to do is have 2 cans. Goya ended up being the one brand that had the lowest fat and lowest sodium out of a lot of brands that I tried or was examining. Libby's came in second, and there was another brand that came in third, I don't remember. So we're using this as the meat. We're going to use some Goya tomato sauce, okay? We're going to use, I love this classical brand, roasted garlic sauce. I just love this sauce a lot. So we're going to use that. I'm going to make some rice later with gandules. We're going to use olive oil. We're going to use olive oil that has the achote in it. We're going to use my Soraya Sobreidad Super Slamming Sofrito. I have it in the refrigerator. So we're going to use a lot of things. Onions, blah, blah, blah. We're going to use a lot of good stuff. And we're going to use my trusty old aged caldero. So we're going to start with the recipe. So we're back. So like what we're going to do now is start with the meat, okay, with the corned beef filling. So now what I have here is onions in my caldero. I have some Goya olive oil, but what I did was I took the annatto seeds, infused it with the Goya, or took the Goya olive oil, infused it with the annatto seeds, and put the oil back into the bottle. Because I like a glass bottle. So as you can see, the annatto has a lot of color. Now this recipe is not going to be a recipe that I'm going to worry about calories. It's pasteles, it's yuca, it's a real high starch, it's corned beef, it's beef that's canned, so there's nitrates and all that. I am not going to worry about it because again, pasteles like this, I'm adding cumin. Pasteles like this, I don't eat often, and I'm going to enjoy it. Okay, so I'm adding some cumin. I would say that's like about a teaspoon of cumin. And I'm adding turmeric, even though we have the achote oil, which has coloring. I'm still adding turmeric. I'm adding like a teaspoon of turmeric. I'm adding some oregano. We're adding the spices, and we're adding my Soraya Sobreidad super slamming sofrito. As you guys know that the sofrito just really makes it very Latin. So I'm adding, I would say like a half a cup. And what I like to do is shake these boobies, like look, shake these boobies while I cook on. I don't have a bra on. I was wearing a bra and it didn't look right with the outfit, so I was like, well, I guess I have to take the bra off. I know some of my Soraya friends, male friends out there are gonna love that. Yeah, no tiene brasier, que fresca. Yes, honey. So what we want to do here is brown, kind of cook up the sofrito. We haven't added any salt to this yet at all. So we have one can. So what I'm going to do is just separate the meat. Now I'm adding the 2 cans of corned beef, though I don't think I'm going to use all of this meat for the pasteles. Whatever meat que sobra, whatever's left over, I'm going to use that for maybe to fill some empanadas, because since the season to be empanada joyful, it's coming out great. I'm going to taste that in a little bit. And then what we're going to do is add a little bit of Goya sauce. And what I'm going to do is, I love my classical, like I said, roasted garlic. I love this. Okay, and then also what I'm going to do, camera person, you can come closer. I have a big container here of my smoked turkey stock. So I'm going to add some of that. And this, what I do is, I add some to the corned beef. Okay, I added about 2.5 cups. Now I really want this to cook down. As you can see, we have a lot of liquid in here. That's what I want. But I want this to cook down a little bit. And actually at this time, I'm going to taste. Now remember, the meat's already cooked, so we can taste this. And it's garlic. Wow, it's nice. And use a little bit of adobo. Good. That's going to be really good. Now something tells me I'm going to add just a little bit more broth. I want this to boil, so I'm going to cover it. I'm going to put the timer for about 5 minutes. At that time, it should be bubbly. Put the timer on. And then while we're waiting for that to boil up a little bit, because what I'm going to do is use some of the caldo, let's say, which is the sauce of the corned beef, is going to go into the masa. It's going to go into the masa to flavor the masa and give it color. So the yuca masa ends up being kind of orangey and colorful. Now, let's talk about color, right? That we are not using any sazon packets here. We're not using any artificial coloring, alright? That's the annatto seeds and the turmeric they gave. So far, the color that it has, plus the tomato sauce that I use and the classical, the Goya tomato sauce and the classical tomato sauce. I don't want to use any food coloring, so we don't use any Goya packets or anything like that that has MSG and artificial food coloring, alright? Because to me that's kind of like, in my opinion, that's kind of like cheating, you know, on your cooking, because with the MSG, everything's going to taste fabulous, and with the food coloring, yeah, it looks really brown or red and everything, but it's not real. So we want to really, at least in my cooking show for myself, I'm going to refrain from using artificial food colorings and artificial food enhancers like MSG. Something else that we're using for the recipe, we're using banana leaves, because we're going to wrap the pasteles, the yuca pasteles in banana leaves and aluminum foil. We're going to go up and get Mr. Food Processor. He's up here just waiting like, Soraya, oh my God, you're making pasteles, nena! Pasteles de yuca! I'm scared of you, girl! That's what he's saying. He's like, oh my God! Oh my God, you get to use me, Soraya! I'm like, yes, honey. I'm going to use you like a Bill Withers song. I'm going to use you with the yuca, again, it's going into the food processor. A couple of things we'll add to the yuca masa, which is coconut milk. Soraya Sobreidad's cooking show, I do not use any animal-like milks, okay? So I use coconut milk, and that's what I'm going to use for my recipe today. Yeah, so I have my coconut milk here. It's going to boil up. That's good. We don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pan. It's on high. I'm going to leave it uncovered now, but I want it to boil up. Okay. That's going to be fine. So what we'll do is from time to time we'll come back to it. It's just to make sure that some of the liquid is evaporating, but we don't want it totally to evaporate because we want some of that liquid, okay? We just want all the flavors to blend together and cook up. So now what we're going to do is, we're going to go to the yuca. Now, the yuca, I took off the skin, right? I cubed it. With the yuca, you have to be careful because the yuca is like pineapple. And pineapple, you know, there's like the center is kind of rough and fibrous. It's a hard texture. You want to make sure with the yuca too that you take that center piece out. That you cut that out because it could be very, very thick and it could keep the masa from being smooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to start. So we're going to add finely cubed yuca, and we may have to do this in rounds. At least that's the way I want to do it. So come closer, cameraman. Se parece como coco. It's really cool, but you want to make sure you get a really, really smooth texture. Alright guys, now boys and girls out there in TV land, as you do your masa, you may want to just do small batches. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing small batches at a time. And do the next batch, and then we're going to do the next batch, and then we'll take it from there. So we'll be back. So I wanted to make sure that I get it all molido, all grounded. So you're still with me, that's good. Now, the yuca is a delicious, delicious, delicious treat. Fabulous. However though, the yuca masa really needs a lot of attention as far as getting the liquid out of the masa. So I had some cheesecloth, and so the cheesecloth ended up being the best method of getting the moisture out. And remember that with cheesecloths, you can reuse them. It's definitely, you know, much more moldable because the liquid is removed to the best of our ability. It's the way I wanted it, that when I squeeze it, I'm still getting some liquid, but not like before, okay? Then why are we concerned about, getting the excess liquid out when we're gonna add coconut milk and we're gonna add some of the broth of the meat, which is liquid too? Well, we don't want too much liquid, and you don't want the liquid of the yuca because the liquid of the yuca is very starchy too. So yuca is already starchy to begin with. So we really want to make sure that we're getting yuca and all the flavoring and not a lot of excess liquid, because then it's going to be a sloppy looking yuca. We want it firm. We want it to be a little translucent. The yuca pasteles end up being a little translucent, which is very cute. And they're so tasty. When they're well done, they're just really delicious. And now we're going to get into the next part of the pasteles with the yuca. We're still addressing the masa. I may add coconut milk, I may not. But one thing I will definitely add is some of the broth from my corned beef. The corned beef is already cooked, and you see the broth that's here, right? This is what we want to capture. And right now what we're going to do is capture as much of that broth as possible. So the camera will stay on while I do this, but this broth will work wonders in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways that will work wonders is giving us flavor for the pasteles. Now you see now the meat's kind of going in there, and that's okay. We want to try to capture as much of the broth as possible. Alright, we may have to strain the meat as well, because we don't want too much liquid, but I'm going to separate as much broth right now. I think we've separated enough with this last spoonful. This broth is worth gold because of the flavor it has and the color it has, and it's really going to help us. I'm putting the bowl over here. Now, I'm going to take this caldero only because I want to transfer some of the broth. I have a ladle full here, right? I'm just going to go ahead and add her here. Okay? And I think I'm going to add a little bit more. Now, this broth is chocked, filled with flavor. It has all the Latino flavors. The recado sofrito is fresh sofrito. I have my Invisalign so you guys know the deal is. So if I slur, you know what's going on. That broth tiene todo el sabor puertorriqueño, all the Latin flavors in this broth. I mean, you could put that over rice or over pasta and have a party. So now we're going to start. And what we want to do with the masa, we may have to add salt to the masa. We're going to taste the masa as we go along. I'm going to leave that on. I'm going to go over here. Actually, no, we'll go right here. I'm grabbing a little frying pan. I'm going to take the meat sauce, put it to the side. I'm turning this on. Now, you may want to try this at home too, which is before I commit my masa to anything, I want to make sure the masa tastes good. So what I do is, I just fry a little bit of the masa alone. And if the masa has the flavor that I want, then the masa is good. And it's ready to get committed to the pastel. So, a little bit of cooking spray. I have my skillet on. I'm going to come back over here. Oh wow, it smells so good. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay. Come here, come here. There she is. Alright. And I'm just going to put this over here. And what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of the masa over here. I'm going to let her cook up. In my opinion, she needs a little bit of coconut milk. Okay, it's good. Okay. Now you're going to season the masa to your liking. And you know me, Soraya Sobreidad cooking show. I gotta put my flaxseed meal in there. Now when you do something like this, you don't have to tell anybody that you put flaxseed meal in your yuca, okay? Because once non-healthy people say, you put flaxseed in your yuca? What? They're gonna not want it. Tell them, you wanna take a look? But you're giving yourself a little bit more fiber and B vitamins. Believe me, you don't taste it. But it's a nutrient and it's in there, and it's really good that you put it in there. That's optional. You don't have to add it, but I like adding it. I want to counter-react the corned beef. And this is the way I like to do my masas. I like to do a little pancake of it, and then try it, taste it, make sure it's okay, cooking still. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to test the little yuca pancake here that we got. Where she's cooked. Just going to take a bowl. Good. And to really get the true essence of how this recipe is going to turn out, put a little bit of the corned beef. And then cooking spray. Alright, and we're going to just put this here on the counter. I'm going to cut up sheets of the aluminum foil, and I'm going to prepare the banana leaves. What you want to do is not burn your banana leaves, but you want to get your banana leaves. I have the packaged banana leaves like I showed you. And then you rinse them, and then you dry them, and then you put them over the stove. You just put them over, and you just wilt them. You're almost like toasting them just a little bit. Yep, and you see them get a little wrinkly like that, you just put them to the side. And legend has it that it kind of opens up the flavor of the banana leaf. So when it gets to the masa, it's like really, really cool. And it's going to take at least 45 minutes for the yucas to cook. Now, I'm not boiling the pasteles, but I'm going to bake them in the oven for 45 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes. Okay? So basically, what we're going to do is, we're going to start Christmas wrapping. Okay. Now, aluminum foil goes down first. The non-shiny side of the pan, the banana leaf, is facing you. Add a little bit of anato, the olive oil with the anato, okay? You're gonna spread it. I'm going to spray also. This is to keep the masa from sticking. This is the third cup. So we're just going to level off. We're going to start with 1/3 as the size for now. Let's see if it's too big or if it's too little, whatever the case may be. See, and I like the way the masa is looking. The masa is not appearing to be watery. The masa is firm. So we're just going to spoon up. This is the corned beef filling. It's saucy, so we don't want to get too much of the sauce. Alright? And I like adding olives to mine. Olives and pimentos. Okay? Now, you guys know that I tasted the masa before we committed, right? In my opinion, I felt the masa needed a little bit more salt, right? But there's a lot of seasoning in the corned beef mixture filling already. Plus the olives are salty. So I think we did a good job of like, the masa to me was almost perfect, just a tinge more salt. But with the olives and the corned beef filling, it's gonna probably be perfect. And that's what I'm hoping and aiming for. So now what I'm gonna do is just turn this over so you guys can see. So I take it halfway and I just push to the center, right? I just take a fold. Now, it's gonna take a couple of tries for you to get the way you want them and all of that. But, you know, I just do them. You know, there's not gonna be a wrong way to do it. As long as you get them nice and firm like that, you know, you squeeze the masa to the middle, right? You get your typical pastel shape in order. That's sealed. You may want to cut this if you want, but I'm not. You just fold it over like that. Goes to the center. And you fold it again as well to the middle. And you pretty much got your pastel like that. Fine, you just put it to the side. I'm gonna make 2 probably. And so again, we're doing the same process. The aluminum foil, not the shiny side up, but the dull side up. Okay? Then what we do is we put a little bit of the annatto. This just gives it color and it keeps the pastel from sticking. You spread some of that oil, that's giving it color. And just to ensure, because I don't want to put too much oil down, I give it some cooking spray. Pasteles De Yucca. Oh, this is going to be a big one. And I don't care. They're so delicious. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see it when it's done. I love this. Oh my God, if my dad was still around, he loved corned beef. He would be like, ay, hágame otra, dame otra pastel con el corned beef. Oh, this has a lot. That'll be good for some empanadas. A nice white rice with that would be fantastic. Okay. So now we're going to do the wrapping again. Okay. And you can also, I've seen some people, they fold the plantain part first. Ooh, and then go with the aluminum foil. So I'm going to try that too. This is a big bucket. This is going to be for me. If it's bigger than the other one, this is mine. Okay. And so while we're also, you get the center. And then we get the middles. So this one fold. Comes up to like that. Come here. Kind of get an even. Okay. I'm gonna make a really good fold there like that. That's a nice one. See how cute? Alright. So we have 2. And I think that's gonna be good. Now what we're gonna do with those 2 pasteles, I have the oven already preheated at 400 degrees. Come, let me show you the rest of my apartment while I get this. Come, cameraman. Now, I've been decorating my apartment because I want to have guests over. I want to invite a few of my Facebook friends. Tanya, you're one of them. Carmen Masad, you're another one. And Ben. Ben was in California. He lives in California. When Junito Perez went to Einaham, we posted it. And Ben is like, hey, you're not far from where I live. I'm like, really? Oh my God, but it's not me. So why that says Junito? He's shy. He probably won't see you. I would have went to see Ben. But come with me to my living room. Now, I am Soraya Sobreidad. Junito Perez is the producer of this show. Him and I are very close. This is the way he wanted to do his living room. So we have like a record store. He had a record store. And now we're combining the environment of the cooking show to include a record store environment and a very tropical feel. We have a banana tree, which we love. We have our records here because we have an eBay store. It has a little disco light here. This is Junito Perez's. This is where we edit our videos here. We have a Mac. We do our little editing. We DJ. A little poster that I have of me. This is painting of my Junito Perez, what he does. He's so talented, my darling Junito Perez. Him and a very fond young man that he adores and loves. And these are some paintings. I don't know if you guys know that Junito Perez is quite the painter. Some fabulous artwork. I can't show you all of this one because Andreas he's got a good piece of morcilla down there that's actually very tasty, honey, but I can't let you see that. But I wanted to show you the living room because I needed to get my pan, so let's get back. We have this fabulous mirror where I can see myself. Come. So what we're going to do is, this big aluminum pan is going to house these two lovely yuca pasteles. Okay? Yeah, I know, it's a big pan. So, I'm going to just put these two in my oven. I have it at 425 for 45 minutes. We'll have a taste test. Okay, what I'm going to do is just cut the sides. Again, these were baked, these weren't boiled. We got some really nice tribal house music going on in the background. I think the DJ was very influenced by his trip to Cuba. And then opening up this Latin dish. That's mine. The bigger one. I like to top mine with ketchup. So here we have Soraya Sobreidad's Yuca Delicious corned beef filling guisado inside, que rico, in banana leaf, baked in the oven, pasteles. So now we're having a taste test of the pasteles. The olives, the banana leaf. Delicious. Very delicious. So I want to sign off. I want to thank you for being here, watching my show, supporting my mission of healthy Latin cooking, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Welcome to my show, honey. Welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. When you're feeling blue, you don't know what to do. Carrying such a heavy load, honey, feels like you're all alone. You need a new recipe, well, I'm the one to see. Friday rolls along, you wanna hear my song, so welcome to my show. Oh, welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. My show is so hot, honey. The fish, the meat.